Welcome to the International Luxury Hotel Association's Leadership Series, where we explore the ideas and people shaping the future of luxury hospitality. I'm Sharon Hirschowitz, Global Head of Communications at the International Luxury Hotel Association. Today, I'm joined by Pietro Catalano, founder of the Dineology Concept and the Michelin-recognized car in Lucerne. Pietro has been exploring how dining can evolve beyond the traditional format, bringing together food, beverage, design, and sustainability in a more integrated way. We're going to talk about that journey, how his thinking has developed, and what it might mean for the future of the guest experience. Pietro, it's good to have you with us.
Thank you, Sharon. Really nice to speak with you.
So I know you've talked about merging your three concept pillars, and we'd love to hear a little bit more about it. So, Dineology feels a little bit more like more than just a restaurant. Where did the idea come from, and how did it grow into this mix of food, drinks, and design?
Yeah, thank you so much. For me, Dineology actually didn't start as a concept. First of all, it started as a feeling. Something when you go to the restaurant in fine dining. I always was feeling there is missing something, and I was always then, of course, fascinating by how precise fine dining is, technical, perfectly, service, flawless. But often when I go to fine dining places, I was missing this emotional, and it was actually never felt like a real immersive experience. And when I start before to make this Dineology, I was backgrounded in music, in classic music, and naturally I've always was thinking to composing something like music in a way to create this hospitality, like in different elements together over the time. And in some point, I started asking myself, what could be the dining feel more like just a place you sit, than more like an experience, how you feel even the music, not just a separate, let's say, a course or a plate. That is not what we wanted to do. So that's why how Dineology start. It's not just fixing an idea, but as an exploration, I could say. And over the time, I naturally evolved into combining food, drinks, sound, the space, and it becomes like an experience. And today I see it much more as a system than a restaurant. This is my Dineology.
I love that. And the space is really striking, especially with the sustainable and 3D printed elements. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? What inspired that approach? And what do you want guests to feel when they walk in?
Yeah, and the space was really important when we built the place. Actually, not just to build a beautiful restaurant. This was not the goal, because beautiful restaurants, there are a lot. But what we wanted to achieve, it's like when the guests enter, they feel something special, that the guests enter and say, wow, this is something different. And I think when you trigger the moment when the guests enter and they feel it like it's different, they are much more open to the experience and to experimenting something new. And we see, or we searching all over the world some special architects, and so we came together with external reference from Barcelona, which they have also an headquarters now in Dubai, and they made us a mood board based on our DNA. So we also in the past, we were in the Swiss Alps, and we came to the city center, and we want to bring also a little bit of this DNA to the city. And when they created this amazing space, they already use new technology, but the new technology was not our goal, that we wanted to work with new technology, with AI, with 3D print, but the architect already used this. And when I asked him, okay, how you built it, because digitally was extremely amazing, and he just simply said, we print everything in 3D. So that's why we just enter as well in 2023 in really special building and also sustainable building environment, which we use recycled materials like cellulose, and as I said, when you enter, it's completely different, that we can transport people in another world, we can say.
Yeah, you're really doing such a fantastic job in moving away from the traditional fine dining and bringing mixology into the experience. So what made you want to blur those lines?
Yeah, for me, it was always like separating kitchen and bar was always felt like artificial a bit. Why should be it separate? Why bartenders work like bartenders, kitchen work like the kitchen? I was thinking about we should combine the knowledge from both together, and we create fundamental like a strategic way as well, because the kitchen works in balance, acidity, texture, temperature, flavor, but at the same time also the mixology, they looking for acidity, they looking for a balance in texture, in temperature. Actually, we both using the same, but just in different technique. So that's why came up to we should operate together, like same amount of work when we produce dishes, but the same amount of work when we produce the drinks. This was for us very important. And yeah, for business wise, I think we create as well for the employee a value, so they can learn from the kitchen and the kitchen can learn from the bar side.
So you're really breaking down those silos. And so somewhere else that you're making big strides is your guests don't choose from a menu, they just experience it. Why was it important for you to take that decision-making away? And can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yes, decision to remove these choices, it's simply that we always do a lot of choice every day. And we understood when people in the evening come into our space, and first of all they want to experience, and I think experience based not on to make choices or not to make a huge menu list and they sitting there and everyone is comparing what you take, what you not take. It's simply that you come in and you can relax and enjoy much more faster. And it's not only, of course, the surrounding needs to be perfect. I say, because we built the restaurant around the client, and this was a part of to take away the choices that they feel really special, because we guide them and we let them feel at home. And of course, each guest have his own tempo, I would say, his own rhythm. And this is the challenging then when the employee needs to adapt to the every single client, actually.
Yeah, you're really talking about an intuitive service and giving guests the night off so they can enjoy themselves and really experience, your offerings. So something else that was really interesting when we spoke earlier, you were telling me about how your team gives the same attention to every guest, no matter what they spend. Like, how do you build that kind of service culture?
Yeah, it's not service mostly built on protocols, especially in luxury business. But in the end, as I say, it's not only the protocol. It's about feeling and culture. It's very important, the culture. I think we have so much people around the world is coming, and each country has its own culture. And this is the thing which we need to understand, where they're coming from, how they act, and to adapt actually the service, not following just the protocol. I think it's very easy, but it's not naturally. So that's why we need to understand and guide them, that they spend a lot of time with us. They actually book the dinner, and we know what already they will spend 3 hours, 2.5 hours from their life in our space. So that's why we need to be really pay attention and go with their own flow. Of course, it's everything. It's like it's timed in our pace and our background to make this experience happen. And it's less about control, I would say, and it's more about shared understanding in this case.
Well, Pietro, thank you for sharing your vision and philosophy behind Dineology. It's very inspiring to see what you're doing and how you're rethinking, not only what we serve, but how people experience hospitality as a whole. So thank you to our audience for joining us. And for more conversations with innovators shaping luxury hospitality landscape, stay connected with the ILHA.
Thank you so much, Sharon.